Howdy, young people. I'm going to talk about a couple of videos here. It's kind of windy out here. I was working on a bike and ran out of gas on the way to the store, but it's windy. Now I got all that taken care of, so I wanted to cover a couple of videos here while it's cool in the morning. Let's talk about, first I'm going to talk about defending yourself in court, and then I'm probably going to make a second video about the death penalty. That'll do a crazy cop story. So let's talk about defending yourself in court. Should you, or is it a good idea to defend yourself in court? Now, most lawyers and judges are going to tell you the only person that defends himself in court has a fool for a client. They say it's a bad idea. Why do they say it's a bad idea? Because it's the company line. It's the way to promote lawyers. If they ran around and told people you can defend yourself, then a lot of lawyers would be out of a job. They couldn't charge you $300 to say we plead guilty and give them probation. Working at the DA's office, there was a few people, especially in the liberal kind of county that we were in, where people were like, I ain't hiring a lawyer, I'm defending you. And there was a couple of guys that would always defend themselves. If they got, it was around the DA's office, when they got arrested, it's like, man, I don't really want to go through this, just plead it or let's dismiss it because this guy's going to be a pain in the butt in court. So, what do you need to know to defend yourself in court? Well, it would be nice to have some experience. I think a cop who's worked the system could probably defend himself pretty easily. Obviously, anybody who's maybe has a lawyer or who works at a legal office, paralegal, somebody's kind of familiar with the court cases on how things work out, etc. They could probably do it. Just turn on this light. I don't know if that would help or not. But should you defend yourself? Well, if you can defend yourself and have the court appoint a lawyer as your assistant or as your guide for legal questions, then I would say absolutely defend yourself. Unless, of course, you're guilty and you need a lawyer to fangle the system and manipulate it to get you off of your guilty plea and confuse the jury, then you probably need a lawyer. But if you think you're innocent and you didn't do anything and you're kind of being just abused by the system, then I would say defend yourself. The good thing about defending yourself is the DA can't beat you up and can't look too much like an asshole for quoting regs and this case law and objection for this. And the more he objects and kind of beats you down, the more you kind of look like the system is beating you up in front of the jury. So DAs are aware of that. So when you defend yourself, you kind of throw the DA off his game a little bit. He can't play the lawyer juggling and put on a show for the jury and try to confuse and impress them. He's got to worry about, does it appear that I'm beating you up so much and I'm holding you down, you didn't have a chance, and I'm not letting you get your case out, and I'm not letting you, because when you're defending yourself, you can ask things that may be in violation of the rules of evidence, that may be in violation of hearsay, that may be, and every time the DA objects, he kind of looks like a bully. So he's going to withhold his objections for important, which means you're going to get things in that maybe a lawyer could not get in because he would know that he shouldn't do it. And if he beats up your lawyer, again, it looks like two lawyers fighting, and for the dumb sheep jury that the system likes to manipulate, they're like, those are just two lawyers. It's not this guy's fault. So it doesn't become personal on the client. So it's much easier to beat up your lawyer, make your lawyer look like a dummy, confuse your lawyer and attack your lawyer than it is to do that to you personally. So, I guarantee you, if I got to arrest something, I'm probably defending myself. It's going to be pretty hard for me to go hire a lawyer. One, because I can't afford it, I don't have the money. And two, because I own a house and I got a house payment and a car, because I work for a living, because I pay taxes, I'm not going to be eligible for a public defender. So that means I'm going to have to go hire a lawyer. And that ain't going to happen. So I'm going to probably end up defending myself. And I'm going to be the biggest pain in the butt in the jury, and I'm going to ask for disclosure, and I'm going to ask for this tape, and I'm going to subpoena every cop that was working, and the DA is going to have to argue every point on why I can't do something, because I'm going to make him work his ass off to get a conviction on me. It better be worth his time and it better be worth filing all the motions and giving me all the discovery and getting me tapes and audios and subpoenaing all these cops and making them come in and testify and what did you do and where were you and why and a supervisor, and I want policies on what the cops did, what they were supposed to do, who's their trainer, who trained the cop to do what he did. So if I get arrested, I'm gonna be a huge pain in the butt. Now, is an attorney gonna do that? If you hire an attorney, some will, some won't. Remember, you're always dealing with the system protecting the system. So lawyers are going to be kind of helping out lawyers. Lawyers are going to be in the courtroom in front of the jury. They're like, objection, Your Honor, my client is innocent. And this guy's like, Your Honor, the people of the state deserve justice in this guy. And they're going to play everybody. And then when they go back in the room with the judges, it's enough of bomb. Hey, what's up, man? We're going to have a beer. Hey, Judge, yeah, we playing racquetball today? It's all the good old boy, and it can't be personal. So the judge is in on it when he sees the lawyers acting all emotional and getting all worked up about their client or they're defending the people. Everybody's got a scam. Lawyer, I mean, Aristotle, I think, said it best, kill all the lawyers. Because they are the root of most all evil, because all they do is manipulate, change the law, do different things to make the law confusing, charge people. Long ago, people don't know this, but why laws and old cases are very wordy. Lawyers used to get paid by the word. So if I say, Your Honor, you need to show up in court, that's only so many words. But if I put on this so forth date and the forthcoming of the 4C, I see therefore or with, and I start throwing in all these words, guess what? I pad my bill and I get paid more. If I'm getting paid by the word, I'm using more words. So that's how lawyers used to be, and it ain't that much difference now. They just don't get paid by the word, they pay by the hour. And a lot of people don't understand how employers get paid. It's freaking ridiculous. If I'm taking a shit in a bathroom and I think about 3 cases, I can bill all 3 cases. As long as I think or work about your case, I can bill that. And most lawyers have a minimum billing of either 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour. So if I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm like, damn, I got to make a phone call on that case. There's an hour. And you know what? I got that other case I got to work on too. There's an hour. So that's why if you've never hired an attorney, attorneys want what's called a retainer fee, and they usually want $5,000 in their account until that money's gone. So what they do is you give them $5 grand, they put it in your account, and they go balance. And then every few days or every week, and they charge you for billing you, they send you a little thing on how much you got left. Well, you had $5,000 balance, and we had to send a fax to the attorney, and that was $14.95. And we had to make a copy of this, and that was $27. And we had to make a phone call, that was 15 minutes of the attorney time, so that's $300 an hour, that's $100. And they make all these little lists, and they keep sending these to you once every week or so, and you watch your 5,000 dwindle down. And when your 5,000 gets to 100, they go, hey, we're stopping the case. You got to refresh your account, put another $5 grand in. Are you kidding me? So the more you put in, the more they're just like a freaking government. They can never have enough money. So, I mean, people are like, oh, lawyers, Look, if you can't get a flat rate from an attorney, or you can't get an attorney doing it saying, hey, I only get money if I win, then I'd be real leery about an attorney, and I'd be very careful. I mean, some of the shit that my attorney charged me when I was fighting the county, I was just like, are you shitting me? And I mean, luckily I had representation in other places coming up, but some of the things they built, I was just like crazy. I mean, they built my association, and my attorneys built 50, 60 grand, I don't know, for defending me against that crooked DA. So, lawyers, it's a good old boy system. And people need to realize that when you're in court, it's all a big show. It's a show for you, it's a show for the DA, it's about him getting a conviction so he can raise his stat. It's about this lawyer saying, I won a case for this person, or I made this client happy, so when he's done, he can say, hey, can I use you as a reference to tell another client? I mean, it's all a game to justify their position. Just like government is a game to justify government, grow government, get more taxes, pass more laws, so we need more people to enforce those laws, so we get more fines and money from enforcing those laws so we can get more control over people. And the more control we have over people, the less they're going to fight us, and then when they do fight us, we'll just cut the services they want. If you ever notice, every time an attorney or the Congress wants to pass something, they always, or the city or state, it always cuts schools and police and fire. They always hit people, the dumb sheep people who vote for these idiots over and over again. They always hit them in the, we're going to take your police away so you're not going to be safe. We're going to take your fire department away so you're not going to be safe. You're going to burn up in your house. Shit, I can't remember the last time a damn fireman went in a burning building. Buildings barely burn anymore, and here we have the fire department doubling in size every year because we need more firemen. And when was the last time you saw a fireman actually run into a burning building? Everyone's like, oh, fireman, oh, this is a dangerous job. Look, they don't go into running into burning buildings very much. They don't have that many fires, and the technology cuts fires pretty quick. I mean, most people have never experienced a fire in their home, been around a fire, even seen a fire. But the government's got to keep telling you that if you don't vote for this tax, and if you don't vote for this, and we need this, we're going to have to take money from somewhere else, and guess where we're taking it? We're taking it from your kids' education, which, you know, we're already spending $14 million on each kid for them to learn how to say, we be going to the store, and, you know, don't get me started on our education system. But anyway, so lawyers are the same as government. It's all about justifying their position. And when you're in front of a jury, when you're defending yourself, the problem that most people have that hurt them is it's emotional, it's personal. And you it's very easy to look like an ass when you start attacking somebody because you're in the right. And you're like, you're being a jerk, or you're lying, or I can't believe you. And then the jury is like, oh man, this guy, see, he's got a temper, or he's upset, or he gets emotional, and now I believe what the cop said. And, you know, so, you know, that's the problem with defending yourself. But the flip side is, the DA can't beat you up too much. You're going to get more evidence in than a lawyer will, because they're going to say, oh, he's just a dumb guy, he's not a lawyer, he didn't know. So I can get ringing a bell. They can't be unrung. I've talked about in other videos. Lawyers love to ring the bell, ask a question. They know it's going to get objected to, they know it's not authorized, and they know it's going to get stricken from the record. But they ring that bell on that jury's head and make them think about it. Well, if you're defending yourself, you can ring bells all day. You know, I think the DA's this, I think this. Did you remember this case where they screwed it up? You can't bring up another case. Okay, I'm sorry. But, Your Honor, they did screw up that case, and this is the same case of, you know what, we can't. So the judge is going to have to explain that to you, because you'd be the dumb sheep. And when he's explaining it to you, guess what? The jury's going, damn, that kind of makes sense. So this one guy that used to always fight at RTA, every time he would fight the attorney, no attorney wanted that case, nobody wanted to go in and deal with him, and then he would beat him. I think he beat him probably 3 out of 4 times that I know about, but there was probably more. But when a guy that's not a lawyer beats the government and the DA, it is a huge ego blow, and they run around with their tail between their legs looking down. Everybody's like, dude, you got beat by not a lawyer? What the? And you know, here it is, the government got all these resources, got all these cops, computers, information on everybody's lives, subpoena. I can witness, I can get anybody to say anything, I can cut deals with felons. They got all these resources, and they get beat by some lonely civilian sheep. Now, of course, courts don't want people to know that, because when you're defending yourself, it normally takes longer. The judge has to pay more attention. They have to be careful they don't violate your right to defend yourself. So there's all kind of issues that the courts don't want people defending themselves. So they've pretty much got the message out there, don't you defend yourself or you'll lose. But you know what? You don't lose that much. At a minimum, you'll probably just hang one jury up who says, you know what? I don't buy this. I think this guy's full of shit, and this guy brought up some good points. And every time he brought up a good point, they were suppressing it, they were objecting, they were shutting him down because they couldn't let him get out of the story. I'm not going to vote guilty. So now you got a hung jury. So now the DA has to decide, do I want to waste another 50 grand or so, pick another jury, waste another 3 weeks to try you again to get a conviction? Most times they're not, unless it's a big serious case. They're just going to go screw it. The jury let them go, I don't care. So would I defend myself? Absolutely. Do I think more people ought to defend themselves? Yes. Put these lawyers out of a job. Again, if you can get the court, play dumb. Hey, Your Honor, I don't know a whole bunch about the law. I know that there's some way, sometimes you can order a public defender to sit and give me some legal advice, maybe some help on subpoenas, or give me some sort of legal advice, but I want to defend myself. I don't want someone else with my future or my destiny in their hands. And I want to defend myself. And I'll do another one on waiving time, because I don't know what my time is on this, but we'll do it with this one on Should you defend yourself, and why is it a good idea? Again, I think it's a good idea. I laid out the points. I'll answer questions in the comments. And if somebody else wants some more elaboration on it, I'll do another video on it. All right, we'll end that there.